I'm tired. You're physically going to be drained and you're mentally going to be drained, but it becomes repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Like, what do you put in chicken salad? Repetition. Repetition.
We had an occasion to sponsor housing for AFI and several other bands that Joe knew. So we had them laid up on the dining room floor and the living room floor.
And this was back in the day when everybody was getting started, and we would wake up in the morning and you never knew who was going to be there.
This is the house that I grew up in. My high school band was a band called Baxter, and we had shows here.
We had some incredible concerts in the basement.
Where there's this whole front lawn would be covered in kids, and the cops would be here, and my mom would be freaking out.
Everybody from everywhere seems to be coming to these concerts. I mean, the street is just lined with cars.
I remember Baxter playing in Tim's basement, when there's like, I mean, when 40 kids can fit down there and it's like 100 degrees and there's sweat dripping off the ceiling.
And there was so much heat and humidity emanating from the basement up the stairs that walking by the door, my glasses fogged up.
Tim hasn't changed at all. It's like the same attitude as like, I'm gonna go play for 40, I'm gonna go play for 5,000.
You ask about my conscience, and I'll offer you my soul. You ask if I'm gonna be a wise man. Well, I ask if I'll grow old. You ask me if I've known love. What if I could sing songs in the rain? I've seen love come, I've seen it shut down, I've seen it die in pain.
Stella was born October 7th, and 10 days later Brandon had to leave. Brandon's always been paranoid that Stella's going to forget who he is, while he's out on tour. So we've just got pictures of Stella, on the walls with Brandon, pictures I've taken of both of them, and I've got a couple that I've had blown up, so Brandon's face is really clear, and we just, walk by him on a daily basis several times. And I just point to him and say, "That's Dad, that's Dad."
I think the thing that I admire most about him being a dad is his willingness to get down on her level and play with her. The energy it takes for him to come home after being so exhausted and being on the road and just going right into, "Dad, get down and play."
It's hard to think about, but I've been gone for more of my daughter's life than I've been there for. And especially having, a kid that young, you can't just call him and be like, "Hey, what's going on? What's new with you?" And then maybe go, "Daddy? Daddy? Life cheese."
It's also sad watching her do things like new words, talking, the first time she, crawled. I mean, he's missed all those things.
Stella, Lou, it's your father.
I think Brandon as a dad is the most amazing thing, because every day his wife will email him videos of Stella.
Yeah, it makes you feel like just for a moment, that you got to hang out. And when I wake up in my bunk, this is the first thing I do is I grab my phone and I check my videos.
And he watches them over and over again. I think it's like the cutest thing, At the same time, it kind of breaks your heart, because he's missing her to death.
I've seen Stella crawl. She started to crawl 3 days after I left. I've seen her learn like 10 things just on this tour through my little phone, which is kind of depressing, because you're like, it's this little video, the quality's kind of shitty, and you're just like, I think she's crawling up on something.
This is like our first year of being married, and it's like we're kind of missing out a lot on that time. I think what's really hard is the adjustment when I come home. She's so used to being almost like alone in the house.
Disrupts my little world.
I think really I'm married to 3 other guys other than her. Tim, Chris, and Brandon.
I have days when I just call him just totally broken down and exhausted. It's just a battle, because I don't want to put my burden of what's happening here on him while he's on the road, because I know what he goes through on the road. I know the demands for him on the road.
It's mind-blowingly hard to be away from her, you know what I mean? That it just kind of numbs you. I was just watching this documentary about people who were attacked by sharks, and they talk about how they didn't feel anything, And I was like, you had a shark bite off your leg, but you didn't feel it, Or you jammed your hand into a shark's mouth to pry it off of, your foot, but you didn't feel your fingers being cut off, you know, like, and I was always just like, how is that? And it's kind of like, it's so hard to be away from her that sometimes you just don't feel it.
I've been on tour with this band or another band most of the time, you know, so we've definitely mastered the art of, you know, leaving each other, which is sad, kind of sucks.
Whoa! Shut down in a blaze of glory. Take me now, but know the truth. I'm going out in a blaze of glory. And Lord, I never drew first, but I drew first blood. I'm a devil's son. Call me young gun.
My arms are really weak. Like, I'm a scrawny guy when it comes to upper body strength, and I said these things are just good for music. I play music with my arms. I'm a musician. My house is metal. Every poster that you see up here in my room is held up with a magnet, so if I hit the walls too hard, sometimes they fall off. This is kind of my little religious area here. I got my incense. Madres! My mom has pictures. Mom, do you have pictures of my dad by any chance? I can't find any in my room.
You can't find any pictures of
I can't find crap in my room. What?
It's 5 minutes.
I know, well, can I take my meds and finish eating and feed the cats?
No.
So you want me to be depressive and the cats to be angry? I swore after my last girlfriend, I was just like, I'm not gonna have any girlfriends for a while. It's because I love being single. This is our meeting. In the morning we have a little meeting. A lot of us come in here for breaks when we need to get away from the kids. We're just like, ah! That's the bathroom. I've had stories of the bathroom. Little kids like to do stuff after swimming, such as flush underwear down the toilet. My first little self-indulgent with my first paycheck was going to Warped. I like his voice. I like how, you know, he can scream and he can sing. Like songs like Swing Life Away, where he's like, this is a really beautiful song. I mean, my mom likes that song. And then, you know, there's the harder stuff that where my mom goes, turn that stuff down. There's a band that was screaming like, ah, and I'm like, ah, I can do it too, ah. But, you know, usually like the really cool screams like Tim Scream or something like that, I can't do that. Or I can't do that and keep talking afterwards.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Those are the kids that are going to be headlining Warped Tour 10 years from now. You know, the kids that are just starting to make it happen now and playing in front of nobody.
We live on front porches and swing life away. We get by just fine here on minimum wage. If love isn't labor, I'll slave till the end. I won't cross these streets until you hold my hand. Until you hold my hand.
They started somewhere, which is more than a lot of people can say. And so those are the kids that are going to inherit all of this.
Want me to go first?
Go for it, yeah.
I'll show you mine, you show me yours first.
Let's compare scars and I'll tell you whose is worse. And let's swing life away. Swing life away. Swing life away. Swing life away. Hey, dude, that was awesome. Keep it up. You're
I will.
a rad player, dude.
Because maybe I'll be touring with you.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Brandon is beautiful. Tim has a great tuchus. Joe is hot as hell.
Chris is so dreamy. He's got the body of an angel.
Chris is kind of the house guy to razz on a daily basis.
Why does the band pick on him? Because they can. Because he's not going to do anything about it, and it's funny.
The poor guy takes kind of a beating from everybody.
I mean, I'm crew and I pick on him.
He's always been slightly afraid of getting let go from the band.
Even to this day, that's always in the back of my head, because I know that I'm like the 5th guitar player. You never know what's gonna happen. Like one day it just might not work.
Probably like a month ago, near the beginning of this tour, like he was in the back lounge like he always is. And we decided, we wanted to fuck with him.
We asked him to come up to the front of the bus. We're like, come on, Chris, you gotta come up, dude.
I just looked at my girlfriend, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And of course, that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, I fucked up somehow.
So he comes up all afraid they're gonna fire him.
And like, this is all of them sitting on all the couches.
And he's like, what? And we're like, oh, you gotta sit down, we gotta tell you.